What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we are going over 10 of the worst things that Iron Man has ever done. And let's get straight on the list with number 10. Iron Man is all around a rude guy. Okay. I know Iron Man is such an awesome and kick-ass character, but hear me out. Throughout the comics and even in the Marvel movies, we obviously see Tony always make snarky and crude remarks. His whole demeanor is, I'm better than everyone else. Okay, fine. He might be insanely rich, be a flying superhero, extremely smart, and he gets all the girls. But come on, no one likes a bragger, especially when it's so apparent. Although it might not be one of the worst things on the list, it sure should make it because no one likes a bully, and at times, Iron Man is exactly that. Just compare him to Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you'll understand what I mean. At the end of the day, we still love him even though he's a cocky asshole. Number 9, Iron Man acted irresponsibly drunk. It's either ironic or too perfect that Robert Downey Jr. used to be a raging alcoholic and drug user. Iron Man is known for being an alcoholic in the comics. Being intoxicated while also having an extremely deadly suit doesn't mix too well. In Demon in a Bottle, we see the effects of Stark's abuse on multiple accounts. We see him slam drinks one after another when something stressful happens. For example, when S.H.I.E.L.D. is beginning to take over Stark Industries, or Justin Hammer gaining control of Iron Man's suit. Either way, it seems that the Playboy is always reaching for his booze. The results of this go from cheating on his girlfriend, forcing Jarvis to retire, and even putting toxic fumes in the air when flying around drunkenly in his crimson metal suit. These are just a few of the stories that have happened due to Iron Man's troubling problem. A hero like him should have never started such an unhealthy and irresponsible habit. Number 8, Iron Man once tried to use a racial slur. Okay, this might not be the worst thing he's ever done to a lot of people, but with racial equality being such an important issue today, looking back on this makes him look very bad. Sure, all of which are meant to be fun, but in 2002, Marvel, the miniseries, had rather an out of place and very inappropriate moment. When Stark and Black Panther are bashing two men's skulls into each other, the billionaire makes a very crude remark about the socio-economic situation, ending his idea with the beginning of a racial slur before Black Panther cuts him off. What's even more odd is that Black Panther just tells him that he shouldn't say that because other people might not like it. It's really weird to see this scene, especially in today's world. Although non-canon, this certainly is something no Iron Man fanboy wants to see. Number 7, Iron Man shipped the Hulk to outer space. Around the time the Secret War storyline was taking place, we see the Hulk go on a killing spree in Las Vegas. He kills tens of people that included children. When Maria Hill, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. sees this, she can only help but go to Tony Stark in hopes he will be able to stop the Hulk. With the help of Marvel's Illuminati, Iron Man develops a plan to get rid of the incredible monster once and for all. Using the life model decoy, Stark is able to impersonate Nick Fury and convince Bruce Banner to get on a spacecraft, thinking he is going to fix a space satellite that only Hulk's strength can do. However, it's planned to drop him off in an empty planet so he couldn't hurt anyone else ever again. That's taken solitary confinement to a whole new level. Number 6, Iron Man sold his extremely deadly weapons. In the first Iron Man movie, fans were blown away because no superhero movie like it had really existed on the big screen before. We also see in the movie that Tony Stark's weaponry is used for mass destruction across seas. This idea comes straight from the source material, where the philanthropist was intended to be a pretty hated character. Stan Lee even explains that since it was around the time of the Cold War, the comic book audience hated the idea of anything to do with the military. So when Tony Stark came around with his devastating weapons to use for the Vietnam War just to make money, Stan Lee was right. The other difference between this and the movie is that when Tony Stark returns to the States, he still continues his business. Although it wasn't directly Iron Man that caused the destruction, the weaponry and mass amounts of lives they probably took is all because Stark wanted to get even richer. Number 5, Iron Man started a civil war. Captain America Civil War was the latest Cap installment in the MCU, and it left fans with great excitement and satisfaction. Seeing their favorite heroes duel it out, as well as a couple new faces like Spider-Man, made the movie very popular. The plot originates in the comics, where Tony Stark himself is obviously portrayed as the bad guy. The gist of the Civil War was that Captain America led the side that opposed the Superhuman Registration Act. This basically stated that heroes were required to reveal their identities and then work for the government. Tony Stark was the act, thus making the Marvel Universe split. Iron Man even tells Spider-Man to reveal his identity to the world, which causes a lot of havoc in Peter Parker's life. Captain America is even dead at the end of the storyline. Overall, Iron Man supporting the act made him hunt down his former allies and heroes in order to put them under the control of the government. Number 4, Iron Man created a murderous Thor clone. It seemed that Iron Man did whatever it took to make sure that his side would win during Marvel's Civil War. In Civil War number 4, we see Thor appear to battle, but the thing is, Thor was dead during that time. Tony Stark was the brains behind a project whose goal was to clone Thor, and they were successful. This was even premeditated because we learned that Stark had a piece of DNA since the very first time the two encountered each other. The clone Thor, otherwise known as Ragnarok, even goes so far to kill Black Goliath, an opposing superhero, with a bolt right through his chest. Many readers were in shock to see Iron Man's doing that had obviously been planned well in advance. Just knowing that he is capable of cloning Thor makes us wonder if there's any limit to where his science can take him. Number 3, Iron Man was a traitor for Kang. When readers follow a beloved superhero throughout the years and suddenly it's revealed that he or she was a traitor the entire time, it can be a real slap in the face. That is what Iron Man did in the Age of Innocence, when it was revealed that Iron Man had been a sleeper agent for Kang the Conqueror for a number of years. Fans were submersed in disbelief and dismay. We see him go on a killing frenzy, which includes Marilla, Amanda Chaney, Yellow Jacket, and more. The Avengers needed a way to stop him, so they go back in time to retrieve a young version of Tony Stark. To make a complex story short, the young Tony Stark became the new Iron Man. This entire story in general was absolutely hated by the readers and fans, so it would make sense why later they would rewrite history as many comics do. However, this doesn't change the fact that in the story arc, Iron Man betrays everyone. Number 2, Iron Man made himself evil. In the recent Access storyline, the main premieres was that the villains would turn into heroes, and the heroes would turn into villains. Eventually, things reverted back to the way they were, except for the fact that Iron Man remained evil. When not wanting to go back to what he thought was a weaker version of himself, Tony stuck with this path and then even schemed what seems like hundreds of thousands of dollars from the citizens of San Francisco. He doses the San Francisco water supply with his extremist technology, which essentially makes the person's body stronger and more attractive. However, this stuff was highly addictive, and when Tony Stark took this away, he charged $99 a day to use it. Stuff goes down, and this version of Iron Man basically goes on a self-centered rampage. It just goes to show that power can get to someone's head, even if it holds the mind of the brilliant Tony Stark. Number 1, Iron Man created Ultron. The globally successful movie Avengers Age of Ultron was a phenomenal hit both with the fans and the box office. But looking back, now fans can't help to think about it, but how Tony Stark created the entire mess in the first place. When trying to make a global defense mechanism that would protect Earth from the future alien invasions, Stark uses Loki's scepter to complete his important project. The thing is that this was done in secrecy behind his allies' backs, besides Bruce Banner, who was helping him. Nonetheless, the result of Iron Man's actions was Ultron, the thing that was able to take over Jarvis and become a massive threat. By the end of the movie, hundreds of bystanders have probably died from the AI's doing, with casualties including Quicksilver. It seems ridiculous that Iron Man did not get any punishment for this thing that he created, which put the entire planet at risk. And that is it for the video, guys. As always, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @ValentPlana, and I'll see you all later.